And then okay, one other thing. Um I just this is dumb. I'm sorry. Like when every time this kept happening in the movie, I'm like, no, that shouldn't work like that. Stop doing that. You probably know what I'm talking about. Every time every time they do this to a dinosaur, I just can't. I just like stop. That doesn't stop the dinosaurs. I like I was like when two of the connoitors got out of their cage or whatever in the market, and like they're standing right, and like Owen is standing right between them, and he's putting his hands up like this at the connoitors, and they're not doing anything. They're stopping. I'm like, no, that doesn't work with the connoitors. Because first of all, in the first movie, the only reason you're able to put your hand up to the raptors like that is because you trained them since they were born. So you created a respect with the raptors, as I said, you a natural respect for them to where they will actually react to you doing that. But like that doesn't work with dinosaurs you never interacted with, and we're locked up in cages like animals. Like, no, you don't just put your hand up and they're like, okay, yep, I'll stop. Oh, the hand. Oh, I can't do anything with the hand. No, no. And they do that so many times in this movie. There was one point where it was so comical how they did it. I actually bursted out laughing. Um, Towards the end, when they're trying to get Beta
Yeah.
like they're in the dark room or whatever, and like the Beta's freaking out, and then literally Macy runs up to the camera and goes, "Hey, eyes on me!" And she's looking dead straight at the camera, like it's a 3D film. Like, "Hey, eyes on me!" I'm like, I bursted out laughing because that was so comical. Like, wow. Okay.
Oh man.
That was so stupid. That, no, that should not be a thing. That is not your secret weapon to hold off the dinosaurs. Putting your hand up like that, like
Yeah.
no. Even Alan and Owen reacted when she did that. Like,
Yeah.
did she really just do? Like, oh my god, so dumb.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
One other thing too that I just
yeah.
thought about. This actually really bothered me while I was watching it. So while they're on their way, they were flying to the the bison location with Ellie and Grant,
Hmm.
and they were talking about how they had collected the assets from Isla Nublar and Sorna,
Hmm.
and moved them over. But they didn't say anything about how like they created new species on their own. They were just bringing in the dinosaurs from those islands, right?
Hmm.
So what kind of confused me was that okay, we've had two movies, okay, that or we've had I'm sorry, we've had three movies in the Jurassic Park series. One was Nublar and two was Sora. Okay, so
Hmm.
never do we come across a gigantanosaurus, gigantosaurus or whatever, right? We came
Giganotosaurus.
what?
Giganotosaurus.
Giganotosaurus. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Godzillasaurus. Um,
Godzillasaurus, whatever.
yeah, super big dude a source.
Yep.
But we had like a Spinosaurus and we had T Rexes, right?
Yeah.
So the Spinosaurus didn't show up at all. So
No.
I'm guessing that she's toast. And
Yeah.
now we have a super big dude
Yes.
Asaurus. Um,
Jockosaurus.
yes, Gigantosaurus. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
but
there's
yes. So
just
what?
to add on top of that real quick. There was another piece of footage that was released online, showing the dinosaurs in the Cretaceous period, and they were showing dinosaurs with like fur and feathers, and like there wasn't really any dinosaurs like that in the movie either.
That's, oh my gosh, that also bothered me too, because okay, so in 93 up to 2003, we didn't really have a lot of like, we hadn't be, we became more knowledgeable of dinosaurs after 2003, after the Jurassic Park trilogy, right?
Mhm.
So we learned about, like, you know, the how they most likely had feathers and they walked like this instead of like that. So there was a lot more information that we had gathered over time in the past in the past decade.
Mhm.
So um you know, that was the reason why Jurassic Park dinosaurs looked like that. We weren't as aware, you know. In fact, like the T-Rex became, you know, the ultimate, you know, image. The I don't know if he was the apex predator because they kind of made the raptor that, but
He was the top of the food chain at the time.
yeah, he was kind of, I guess, yeah, in Jurassic Park, he definitely
Yeah.
was.
Mhm.
So, or she, because they're all girls
She,
in
because they're
Jurassic
all
Park.
girls. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then after that they came up with, you know, how I think they made the Spinosaurus even bigger than the T-Rex in Jurassic Park 3, which was kind of interesting. But then they were saying, like, you know, the you know, they
The giant source.
Gigantosaurus, yeah. So they made, I can pronounce Archaeornithomimus, but I can't. Okay, so anyway,
Yeah, I know.
um,
Like it took me forever to just like get it down packed.
Gigantosaurus.
Gigantosaurus.
Yep.
I almost want to
um,
say Gigantosaurus.
yeah.
'Cause whatever.
But so yeah, it was just so we gathered more information over time. So
Mhm.
but the Jurassic Park dinosaurs, they always looked like that, right? So why is it that if they moved all of those dinosaurs from the two islands over into the new location for bison, why do they now all of a sudden have feathers and they all look like giant birds, or, you know, giant the giant chicken monster? I have no idea what
Oh yeah, well
he
there
was
was
called.
one. There was one dinosaur that had the fur, I mean the feathers, and that yeah, it was that giant, long-necked, bird-looking creature with the long fingernails.
The
I'm
long
like,
nails.
yeah, I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Which, you know, was a real creature that we discovered, but like we didn't know that they looked like they had feathers, you know, like,
Yeah.
or, you know, back in Jurassic Park era. So how is it that they don't look, they look more like prehistoric creatures that, you know, they look more realistic, but they don't look like how the Jurassic Park franchise set them up. And I think that that's also why maybe this film and the film not really the film before, but like, you know, this film especially is like kind of separate from the foundational films that it was based on, like Jurassic Park and stuff like that. It's just
So you're
Jurassic Park,
saying,
the first
yeah,
Jurassic World, huh?
right. So you're saying like there shouldn't be dinosaurs that have feathers now? Is that what you're saying, or there should be more dinosaurs with feathers?
I actually, despite the fact that it's not accurate, and we know now that it's not accurate, I actually think that they shouldn't have changed it all that much unless they were trying to, like, say that, oh, we've created even more genetically modified, made to look even more realistic based off of what we know, you know, with more chicken DNA, or, you know, now with more chicken DNA, but like something like that. But like, um, if they were saying, okay, we're moving all of our, you know, lizard based dinosaurs, like more lizard looking dinosaurs, over from, you know, the two islands over to the remote location, they should still look like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs we know, you know, just like Jurassic World. They didn't really come up with, other than the Indominus and the raptors kind of looking a bit different.
Oh, don't forget
Um,
the pterodactyls in that dome. They
Oh
were like,
yeah, they had like
yeah,
a, almost like a T-Rex face, some
yeah,
of them. But,
yeah.
you know, like other than a few changes and different species popping up, um they pretty much looked relatively similar to what we saw them as in the Jurassic Park franchise. So it wasn't as shocking or like, disorienting in that sense. But I feel like for the sake of continuity and saying like, oh, we're moving all of these dinosaurs that you have interacted with on these two islands over to the remote location, um, then they should still look like them. You know what I'm saying? Um, unless, I don't know, they didn't really specify whether or not those dinosaurs evolved over time over the past few decades, or if they um or if they Bison was making even more dinosaurs or something. I don't know how Bison would, because that was Injin's job, but
Yeah, and like they seem to be too focused on locusts to be doing that.
they were
Um,
too what?
they're too busy making locusts.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But
but yeah. I mean, come to think of it, yeah, it's like it doesn't really make sense how the dinosaurs that broke free eventually created other species like the giant bird um mo- dinosaur. I'm gonna look up that dinosaur's name while we're talking, but or even the Giganotosaurus. Like, where did that come from? It's like I don't know how. Even with the dinosaurs being free, I don't know how that species came up from the species that we already have. So
it
yeah,
would have
that
been,
is odd.
yeah. And also, they're bringing back OG characters. So why didn't they bring back, like, instead of introducing even more dinosaurs, it would have been cool to see them bring back, like, oh, these are the velociraptors from Sorna, because they were really intelligent and such a huge part of Jurassic Park 3. And what if they also like was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the Spinosaurus. It's back," or like bringing back OG dinosaurs. That would have been pretty cool, cuz like
I Yeah.
wasn't it like a huge theory and kind of confirmed that like the Jurassic World T-Rex was the T-Rex from Jurassic Park because of the old scars.
Yeah, I think I heard that there.
If
Yeah.
they decided to confirm that and add and bring back like the OG dinosaurs, I don't know. I kind of would have liked that. I can understand how they would have that fear of like, well, we already showed that to you guys, so why would you want to see it again? But honestly, I kind of would have liked it. I
I
would have
mean,
been,
if you bring it back the T Rex in every movie, like I don't see
well,
how that's
yeah. Well, the T Rex was in this movie, but like, what if it was like, oh my gosh, this is the raptor, or these are the raptors from Sorna. You know what I mean? Or like the Spinosaurus.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised the Spinosaurus didn't come back in
I
this.
know.
Even though I
I
did like the Spinosaurus in 3, like it makes sense for the Spinosaurus to come back in this.
would have been
You know,
scary.
it would have been, yeah, and it's like it would have been even cooler to have the Spinosaurus come back in the climax with the T Rex and the Giganotosaurus instead of the Okay, now okay. I looked up the name, so apparently it's called the Therizinosaur, that long-necked creature with the long nails. Therizinosaur.
The
Thor
Rhizinosaur?
Therizinosaur.
It's like it's called the as in
Thor-
like Jesus is the Rhizinosaur?
no, it's like there is a sore.
There
There is
oh,
a
I thought it was the risen. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
That's how it's spelled. Therizinosaur.
Oh, they're
There
the
is a Nosaur.
Rhizinosaur.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Um
So, but yeah, I think it would have been more. I think it would have been cool. I mean, the Therizinosaur was a cool guy. It was still kind of cool in the movie. Like it was a really suspenseful scene with Claire hiding in the swamp, and like it's like creeping right above her. Like there was some really chilling moments like that. Or like when she's hanging on the parachute on the tree, and like the Tyrannosaurus is like right next to her, and it's like she's trying not to make any noise. Like there were some really chilling moments like that, but it's just like it was just really random that it just showed up at the end with the Giganotosaur and T-Rex, like out of nowhere. Like you're all the way in the forest, like oh over there. How'd you make it to here? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then that gets the final blow on the Giganotosaur. So technically, the Giganotosaur is not the top of the food chain; it's the Therizinosaur, technically. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
But with the help of the T-Rex, of course.
Well, to help the T-Rex, of course.
It's just like, the T-Rex and Blue fighting the Indominus, and then the Mosasaur having the last kind of
Yeah,
say,
the
I
last.
guess.
Yeah.
But actually, yeah, I have two things to say about that. First of all, yeah, that scene with Bryce and the Rhizinosaur, that
Yeah.
was like that was extremely suspenseful. There were a lot of moments in this film where I was just like, like holding on, like doing this with my eye, like I was nervous for a lot of moments, like
Mm-hmm.
it was incredibly suspenseful in some moments, or in a lot of moments I should say.
Yeah.
um but at the end, I feel like it was the most anticlimactic dinosaur fight I've ever seen in my life when they were trying to run away. It was so short. And I remember I saw the T-Rex coming up and then the Rhizinosaur coming in, and I was literally like, yes, like, just like when Blue came in Jurassic World. It was like, I thought it was going to be like that moment where I was like, yeah,
Yep.
fight them, And I was like, yeah, that's a prehistoric fight. And I was even kind of okay with them looking a bit more realistic rather than the Jurassic Park one, because I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to see this prehistoric fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's going to look different than all the others. And it was like over in 5 seconds. And I was like, never
Yeah.
mind.
And on top of the fact that it's pitch black outside and it's raining really hard, and they're like there's only some spotlights here and there, so you and then they Colin did like this weird thing with the camera to it's like you're seeing them fight, but like they're not the main focus of the camera shots. It's the humans running, and so you're tracking the humans running while the dinosaurs are fighting over them, and like it's not getting a full view of what the dinosaurs are doing. It's a lot of close-ups because you're only following the humans on the ground who are really small, so you're not getting a wide shot of the dinosaurs fighting. So like that was very strange. And then like out of nowhere, the Resource comes in. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they do, like you said, a quick double team, and then the Therizinosaurus just stabs the Giganotosaurus, and then it's over. I'm like, what? Uh,
Yeah, I know.
I, I mean, it's
That's
not
like,
as bad as it's not as like short as the Spinosaurus and T-Rex fight in the third movie, but still, I was like, that was it. Colin, you did
yeah.
such a great fight in the first Jurassic World. Like, what happened?
I will say that Jurassic Park 3 fight against the Spinosaurus and the T-Rex, that happened in like a third of the way through the film too. It wasn't even the ending moment, So that's why it
No.
was so short. And it wasn't even as long as that. So it was like it was so confusing. And then um there was also something I was going to say about it, but I am forgetting what I was going to say.
Did it have something to do with did it have something to do with the humans? Did it have something to do with the Giganotosaurus?
Oh, you're right. The shot sizes. We were talking about the
Yeah.
cinematography. So
Yeah.
usually in like the Jurassic Park franchise, it would either be like the dinosaurs were fighting and then the humans run away, or like we would see a clip of the humans run away and then we see the resolution of the fight. And
Mhm.
yeah, and just like you said, this one we were watching the people kind of running away, and it wasn't as much about the human or the fight. And then there was
Mhm.
like a quick like shot of like the end of the fight basically. And um I think that my favorite fight sequence in the whole Jurassic franchise, or at least one of them, because I love the one in Jurassic Park at the very end. Um,
With the raptors and the T-Rex?
yes, with the raptors and the T-Rex.
Mm.
I think what would I think I really like the cinematography of the Jurassic World ending fight, because we saw where the people were going, but
Mhm.
we had these quick motion panning shots of like, or it was almost like a, they were like, I'm not sure how they did it, but I think that they were like they were simulating like a crane shot almost, where they were like
Mhm.
taking the camera, moving it down back over to the people, and then swinging it back up um, to the dinosaurs. But we didn't really seem to miss anything, you know. So I don't. I liked the way that they had that motion because we knew where the people were and we knew what the dinosaurs were doing, you know.
Mhm.
And it just had a bit more focus on the people getting into the and maybe that was because the fight was too short, but yeah, there was a lot of focus of just the people getting into the helicopter, so the
Right.
plane.
Yeah, and on top of like, yeah, I would say like the fight in Jurassic World is probably my favorite in the entire franchise. And like adding on what you said, like they did have like tracking shots of the humans running away, but as you said, it didn't compromise the shots with T Rex and the Indominus. As you said, they did have a moment to follow the humans, but then they panned up to see the Indominus and the T Rex fighting, and it was a wide shot, like you saw them in frame. So it's like they didn't compromise the fight behind them. So it's like, and like, and they cut to the humans doing their own thing, and then they would cut to the dinosaurs fighting. So it's like they split the time between the two as well.
Hmm.
So that's what I really really liked about it. So I'm just like I don't I just don't understand what happened with this. Like,
I think it's a perfect um it's a perfect metaphor, a metaphor, sorry, it's a perfect metaphor towards like um towards how the filmmakers and how the writers treated the dinosaurs in this movie. They weren't as showcased as they normally are in Jurassic Park movies. There was so much people there was, yeah, there were tons of people, tons of talking, tons of scientific research and locusts. And I feel like because there was so much going on, there just wasn't enough, like, we didn't get to know the dinosaurs. Even like they were characters, they were somehow made to be like characters. Like Blue, we already know her. She was well established in the past films.
even
So
the T
she
Rex
was,
became a character like in the previous movies.
yeah,
She's become a staple, and now she's like
yeah,
the Terminator in the sequels, where it's like, okay, it's cool that you're here, but you don't really need to be here.
yeah. And that's the T-Rex from like Jurassic World, right?
I think
So
so.
why wouldn't we see a bit more of him, you know, or of her? Oh my goodness,
Hmm.
of, you know, of that dinosaur. I don't know.
Right. Like you used to be like the the poster child for the movies. Like your logo, you mean your face is in the logo, and it's just like I don't I don't understand now.
Did you see, you caught the circular thing, right? They had the
Yep.
fountain in the circle shape.
Yep.
I literally, Tara and I, we both went like at the screen when we saw that. We were like, I see
Like
what you did. We were
ah.
like, ah. I kind of like that. I thought that that was cool
No, that was cool.
because it's
I just
like,
don't. Yeah,
that's my T-Rex.
that's your T
That's my
Rex.
girl.
Now, if you gave her a better moment, that would have brought it over the edge.
Yeah.
Like the dinosaurs have become the Transformers in the Michael Bay films. Like they
Yeah.
should be the main focus, but they're too much. They're focused too much on the humans, and they become background noise or complements to the set pieces. Like they become the special effects instead of
Yeah.
actual like characters in the story. So it's disappointing. It's
Yeah.
disappointing.
It almost feels like the more technologically advanced we get with filmmaking, it's almost like the less realistic it feels, almost, with like, because when you see with like Jurassic Park movies, right, you just see a bunch of people running away from dinosaurs, right? And that never gets old. Like with Jurassic Park 3, you know, they're just a bunch of people running from
raptors and
raptors and
pterodactyls.
running into a herd and stuff like that. And for some reason,
Mhm.
like, because it just feels like it almost feels closest to how it would be to run away from dinosaurs. But then in this, we've got, like, we've got these crazy fight scenes, and we've got this moment where, uh, Owen is riding on a motorcycle into the plane that's about to take off, right? And then just barely that raptor that was chasing after him hops onto the plane, and somehow the motorcycle, Bryce catches, Chris. I'm using their real names for
I
some
mean, we know
reason.
what you're talking about.
They catch each other, and then the motorcycle just conveniently knocks the raptor right off of the helicopter. It just feels so action oriented, like it's trying to be this impressive action movie, and it just feels a little bit less realistic. And I feel like it's because they can, and they're like, look how well adapted we've gotten, as filmmakers and movie creators. And it's like, that's great, but it's kind of weird. It was very like suspenseful, but like I remember thinking, like, if I was a character in this movie, I'd die instantly. Like, no way.
Dude,
So I
like
don't
the
know.
humans in this movie should not be able to survive all the stuff they survived in these
Right,
in
they're
these
like
films.
superhumans.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Fast and Furious where it's like they get injured and like they don't have a scratch on them. Like, so
Right.
it's not like to that leaps of logic, but it's just like they are doing like stuff that's like kind of bending the laws of physics at this point. Actually, okay, I was wrong. There was one scene where I thought, okay, Bryce Dallas Howard should have been paralyzed or brutally injured when she crashes into um Kayla's truck.
Yeah.
Like she hit pretty hard, but she was able to get up like it was nothing. Like she fell stories, I think, from a building.
Yep.
And like she didn't get a broken arm or anything or dislocate anything. She was fine. So that was the one moment where I was like, okay, yeah, you should have been injured. But other than that, when people get hurt, they get hurt. So at
Yep.
least it's not like to the level of Fast and Furious where it's like that's ridiculous. But yeah, it's just like what I've been saying from the beginning of why this franchise shouldn't have gone as long as it did, because they feel like you can only do so much with the dinosaurs chasing the humans. You gotta up the ante, because these are giant creatures. You need to do some impressive set pieces with them. Be more creative with how they're attacking the humans. So now we get to this point where it's like they're chasing the humans on rooftops, crashing in the buildings like it's super spies. Or you get to this high stakes chase, as you said, with Owen on the bike and just making it on the plane, and the Raptors just making it on the thing, and then the bike just will have to crash to the like. It feels too elaborate. It doesn't need to be this elaborate. It's suspenseful. It's intense. It was a well directed scene, but it's just like, do we need the dinosaurs to do these death defying stunts and like these crazy action beats?
Yeah.
No, we don't. Like they're turning into kaiju monster films. As I said, this feels like it falls right in line with Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla versus Kong, King of the Monsters. It feels like
Yeah.
it almost could be in that universe.
Yeah, it exactly felt like Skull Island type of, like, it was a monster movie to me.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite Jurassic. It was very suspenseful. It was
Mhm.
interesting, but it didn't feel like Jurassic Park. And I think that that's why it was a bit unsatisfying. It was still great to, see the, you know, characters, the old characters come back and stuff like that. And, um, I saw, uh, you know, Ellie and Alan, my parents, get back together. And, Malcolm made me laugh, so it's like, seeing all of that, it was really cool. Um,
Mhm.
and even seeing, like, the old Jurassic World characters like Omar, and, having all of them come back, everyone who did come back, who came back, like, just, seeing all that was so cool. But like,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't feel like Jurassic Park, despite all that. So I can't
No.
imagine what it would be like without those characters, you know?
Exactly. And then it's
So
like, and then another thing, bring it back to like this doesn't feel like the epic, satisfying conclusion that they wanted it to. For one thing, going back to like the conflict shouldn't have been about Biosyn and this locust because you're
yeah,
taken away from the dinosaur stuff. So when they solved that issue with the locust, like that doesn't feel that doesn't feel satisfactory enough to end the entire franchise because that's not what the franchise was about. Like
yeah,
even when they stopped Biosyn and they stopped the locust, well, first of all, and even like Dodson gets killed by those dinosaurs with the that was cool. Oh, there
yeah,
was also a moment where Claire was almost about to get attacked by that by those monsters. I thought that was cool too. I don't know what they're
yeah.
called, but you know the
The, it's
right.
shoot, I have to look it up. But
I'm
yeah,
looking it up.
I knew what they were called. Um. Oh, question. What was
Yeah,
Owen's friend's name again? The character though. I
you
keep
talking about
calling him.
Omar Sy's character?
Yeah,
Well, hold on, let me see.
I couldn't remember it.
Looking it up right now. It is Barry.
That's it. Okay.
Yep.
And then they kind of briefly like talked about, the control room people
Hmm.
in Jurassic World. They also kind of brought up them too, but they weren't really main characters. They were very small
Oh yeah, like
background
Doctor Wu.
characters. No, not him, but like the control people too. Like they were talking about how they work for like different departments
Hmm.
um of the same, like, the same company. Like Frederick was saying that.
Hmm.
Um they recruited a bunch of people who have experience working with Jurassic World or something like that. Oh, that's another thing too. Bryce and no, just Bryce's character. Like I feel like she also became like really important too because the system uh was the same system that they used in Jurassic World. So I thought that was kind of cool. I was worried that they were going to like not have anything left to talk about with her or to make her unique, but like she also kind of had a standout moment in that sense too.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, and to see like Ellie and her end up working together,
Yeah, I thought that was
that
really
was,
cool.
yeah. Anyway,
Especially when they had that moment where they I think they brutally killed or no, no, I think when they were trying to shut down the system or something like that cuz they were like hitting something with an axe or something like that. Or
yeah.
so yeah, I thought that was a really cool moment.
Mhm.
So the creature is called the Dilophosaurus?
Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great, great.
Okay.
But so as I was trying to say earlier, it's like yeah, they stopped Biosyn and Dodson gets killed by the Dilophosaurus and like the locust is destroyed, but you still have this huge issue with the dinosaurs still running rampant across the world. The conflict is not over. There is still a possibility that humanity can go extinct. So that's why it's dumb that they just completely ignored that and just like what did you accomplish?
I
What,
know. I was like, that's exactly what I expected this movie to be. Was like, okay, I guess they're gonna round up all the dinosaurs and like find a way to send them back and maybe save some from, from black market sales and stuff, or like breeding, stuff like that.
yep.
But it wasn't that they introduced problem after problem, and I was like, oh, this is a mess. How are they going to get all the dinosaurs off the mainland now? Like, and they didn't
They
at
don't.
all. They got, the apex predators, like the very dangerous ones, except Blue, by the way,
Yeah,
and
Blue's
her
still
kid.
out there. And
Yeah, Blue, who can literally have more kids if she felt like it, like,
hmm and
um,
said they said she was the most intelligent life form on the planet.
yeah. So, not her. She's welcome on the main, but like, they got rid of all the big and dangerous ones, I guess, left them on the biosyn sanctuary, whatever. But
Yeah, that becomes Site C now.
yeah, but again, they're trying to like tell people about their message about like coexisting and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's a really great message about having respect for natural like just all living creatures on this planet, um and having respect for the natural world in general. But like at the same time, it's like their metaphor to it felt so out there. I don't know. It was kind of, it was a big metaphor. I don't know, because like I mean you can say that about a lot of monster films, that it's an exaggerated message in relation to what we're dealing with in our life, to teach us more about our life. Um, but it's the idea of like coexisting. I can't imagine
You no, that's
having a
the
triceratops and an elephant working together. Like
no, the Triceratops is going to kill the elephant. What are you look? That that's the I think what you're trying to say is like they're giving off these really big messages, as you said, but they are not following the messages that they are telling the audience. So they
yeah,
are looking extremely hypocritical. And
yeah.
I've said from the beginning, I don't care if we're in Jurassic World Logic Land where everybody thinks this way, but it you cannot coexist with the dinosaurs. It cannot happen, especially because now they're roaming free. There is no domestication with these dinosaurs anymore. They are wherever they want, whenever they want. They eat wherever they want. They'll be whatever they want. They destroy whatever they want. You cannot, you have gotten, it's gotten out of hand. You can't even control them anymore. And even
Yeah.
if you try to get all the dinosaurs across the world, there is no way they're going to get all of them because there's going to be at least one dinosaur that's hiding somewhere where no one even thinks to look. And even then, if I want to stress the logic and be like they got all the dinosaurs around the world somehow, and then they decided to put them on a island where no one will be bothered by them, there will still be at least one idiot out there that's going to try and take the dinosaurs and do whatever they want with them.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
there's
didn't even let you finish your set. I heard idiot and I was like, you talking about me?
no,
Just
no, no, no. Even though you're kind of
an
like
idiot.
encouraging them. You're encouraging the situation. But
I am?
anyway, well, watching these movies, like
Oh,
you're encouraging the situation. Like
yeah.
it's already dumb, so you're allowing them to be dumber in the next movie. So that's the one shot I will throw at you. But
That they
even
have a
then,
chokehold on me, the franchise.
yeah, you even said if they just sold you a big pile of dinosaur dog, you'll still watch it. You'll still watch it because it's
I'd say
Jurassic Park.
thank you.
Yep. You said thank you. That's exactly what you said in the last review. And like, granted, I understand you're not jaded by the franchise like I am because you enjoyed more of the films than I did. So I get it on that standpoint. That's fine. But it's just like me, I'm just so, as I said, I'm just so jaded at this point that these people are so stupid and making the same mistakes. And now you've gotten to a point where I don't think they can fix it, even if they tried. They let it get to a point where it's uncontrollable. So, and they didn't even try to address the situation. They're focusing on some giant grasshoppers.
Right.
That's your
I
epic
just,
conclusion to Jurassic
yeah.
Park. That. Okay.
Yeah. I wonder what else they could possibly do with this if they wanted to. You know?
So we have the last two options that they didn't do. As I said earlier, the other two options is they take the
Yeah.
dinosaurs out now and militarize them, or they'll be even more bigger idiots and try to get some of the dinosaurs and create a park in the U.S. Make a park in the U.S.
I feel like
So
it would contradict their message though. So I feel like
They've
if
done it
they were to
before.
do
What
that,
stops them now?
yeah, but like if they were to do that as like an end result, then it would contradict the message of having respect for the natural world and maybe not genetically modifying organisms because we don't have control over what they can do or what it can do. There are always consequences to it, stuff like that. um I feel like if they were to have that being their success ending, where like they find a way to militarize dinosaurs, or they, come up with an actual theme park on the mainland, those two things are separate from their message that they're really trying to get across in this franchise. So I feel like if they were to do that, then they would kind of set those as problems rather than solutions, I feel like, in the narrative. So I don't know.
So
And we've already seen that, we've already seen
yeah.
people try to militarize the raptors in Jurassic World, and then we've already seen people trying to make theme parks, so
Well, that's the thing though with the militarization. They didn't fully, they didn't fully go into that. They were planting seeds, but we didn't see it actually like be in full effect like the park was fully open in Jurassic World. So like they still can leave that detail open because like you don't see soldiers in the Navy or stuff like that using the dinosaurs or whatever they were going to do. Like so you don't see that yet. So that possibility is still out there
I
for them to explore it more.
I think they kind of did that though in Jurassic World, because they had that moment where they're like, "Oh, we're going to use the raptors as our troops," and they were going into war against the Indominus. So it was kind of like an allusion to that, where it's like this was how it was, like a simulation of like how it would be in the military, and then the raptors turned on them. So like they could make another film where they did it like they militarized the raptors as a problem,
Well,
and
but
then the
not
raptors
just the
turned on
raptors.
them.
Not just the raptors.
Or
They'll take it to an
dinosaurs.
extreme. The T Rexes, Mosasaurus, like the Triceratops.
The
They could
Rhizinosaurus
the
or whatever.
Rhizinosaurus. Good luck militarizing the Rhizinosaurus.
Yeah.
That is not happening.
But I guess like, like that, they could do that and then be like, "Oh, we can't do that anymore." But I feel like we've already kind of seen that. So who knows?
Who knows? I mean,
They
now
just
think
don't.
of it. The logical thing they could do for another movie, if they decide to, is they actually try to get all the dinosaurs out of the mainland and put them somewhere where no one could get them. That could be the logical thing they could do,
Yeah.
but they probably won't do that.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't want them to make any more. I'm done. I'm serious. No, I'm done. I don't want to see any more. This is it. I mean, this is not the great conclusion that I wanted, but it's okay enough where it's like if they decide to not make any more, I'm fine with it because they got the legacy characters back and I enjoyed them and
Yeah.
you know they got the dinosaurs out there even though it's not a main focus. So it's like I mean, but I'm okay with whatever. Just don't. I just want them to stop so they don't make it even worse. Like I wanted Fast and Furious to stop at 7, but they kept going and the story progressively got worse and the physics got progressively worse after that. And it's funny, as I said, they're both made by the same studio, and I'm seeing a pattern now.
I love Universal. I'd like to act in a Jurassic movie.
Oh, that would be great, but I think you missed your chance because they're about to end.
If they make another one, I'll support it. Can I
Oh,
act in it?
you are encouraging their bad behavior. That's the problem. And that's another franchise that Universal is doing that is bad, but they keep making more because people are contributing to their bad behavior. It's Despicable Me movies. The Despicable
Um,
Me movies, man. Now we're
um,
about to get Minions: The Rise of Gru, which looks like one of the stupidest animated films that would come out in the
I
last
know.
decade. Like, because people loved. I mean, I thought the first Despicable Me was fine, but the other sequels I didn't care for, and the first Minions movie was one of the worst films I've ever seen. So it's like, what? You're contributing to their bad behavior. Can't we get Universal Monsters? Can't
They
you
can take
redo
my
that?
money.
Can't we get the Universal Monsters? Can't we get like I don't know what else. What other properties? Oh no, do not make Back to the Future 4. Don't ever do that. Don't ever touch Back to the Future. But like
That's
there,
okay.
contribute to the bad
Yeah, we'll
behavior.
just no. We'll
Oh,
we'll leave
oh,
Back to the Future
yeah. Just leave
unless
it.
I can act in it.
They reboot it. I didn't even want them to reboot it. No, because it's a perfect franchise as it is. I
It's
want
a
to
good
talk.
franchise.
It is very good.
But I liked one. It got progressively worse though.
Despicable
I will
Me.
say that. What?
You mean Despicable Me?
No, for Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Oh, actually, I like. Well,
2 and
yeah, the
3 were
first.
not good.
I mean, you didn't like 2 and 3.
Oh wait, I think it was 2 that was the worst.
I mean, I think it's the
No,
worst.
progressively got worse. I think
I mean,
1 was good though.
yeah, one is one of my favorite films of all time.
Uh,
The second one everyone loves because of the future stuff in the beginning, and I'm just like,
yeah.
dude, there's so many plot holes and inconsistencies in that first hour of the movie. Like, why do people love this so much? And then I actually like the third film. A lot of people forget about the third film, which it's not as good as the first. It's not, but it's like
No.
I like the story of that. I like the cowboy stuff. I like the western stuff. I thought it was okay. That's fine. That's whatever. You know, that's fine. I like all three movies. I do, but like the first one is still is the best. Obviously, it's the best one.
Okay.
Look, I have my crazy takes on films. If you guys don't know already,
Yeah.
so and I stick to them. I don't care what people say. But anyway, so is there anything else you want to bring up before we close this out?
I can't think of anything else.
Okay, great. I don't have much to say either. Overall, it's alright.
It's I.
It's alright. Um, it's not the dumpster fire that was Fallen Kingdom, but
Dumpster fire.
it was dumpster fire. But like I still
It
didn't.
was a locust fire, but okay.
Yeah, it's a locust fire, which is not as bad as the forest fire, but
Right.
still, it's still a fire. But
Yes.
at least like there's more entertaining things happening in this movie. The dinosaurs looked really good. There were some exciting set pieces, even though the set pieces were kind of weird, the how they were set up. Um, it's great seeing Ellie, and Malcolm back. You know, it's cool to see them back, even though I felt like I don't think all of them got their full moment to shine, especially Alan. Like they just did him dirty in this, but like it was
I
still
know.
yeah, I know it was man, but it was nice to see Alan and Ellie back together and them working
Yes.
off of each other really good. And then Jeff Goldblum, even though he was he was playing himself for a good amount of it, he was still entertaining to watch. Chris Pratt was good. I mean, yeah, he was good. Claire I thought was good. Macy, I still don't like her. It was a waste of time. Nope. Um, Dodson. Why they bring back Dodson? It's just so random. Whatever. Why'd they make him the main villain? Why do we need a human villain? Why do we need this locust crap? Made no sense. That to be giant grasshoppers are a conflict in a Jurassic Park movie. That was a huge misstep. They missed so many opportunities with the dinosaurs around the world, just seeing them attack different parts of the world. That should have been the movie, but it wasn't. But if I just turn my brain off, and just enjoy the set pieces on display and how cool the dinosaurs look, sure, it's a brainless action movie. I guess I wouldn't mind watching again, but I'm not watching. I'm not gonna watch it numerous times. I'm still gonna own it on Blu-ray because I own the other movies. So to complete the set, I'll get it. But just like this is not a movie I'm going to be watching over and over again. But it is technically the third best Jurassic Park movie to me. Well, Jurassic Park is up here, and then Jurassic World's like right here, and then Dominion's like right there. I mean, people can't see that. Jurassic World's like right there. I mean, Dominion's like right here, and then like the rest of them are just like down to the ground, like way below. So,
That shot though.
Yeah.
You're like popping up in the corner, like it's
Down
like down
below.
there.
It's like down there. But So yeah, so I guess I will say that Jurassic World Dominion is barely just okay. So, it's just okay, I guess. It's right above trash. It's like it's not. I wouldn't say it's trash, but like it's not a good movie. But it's not like it's not horrible. It's watchable, I guess. Okay, Shannon, your thoughts.
I'm going to say that I guess the final oh man, as like a final like concluding thing, I wish that it was a bit more, it was a bit stronger. I feel like we're still getting left, you know, with more thought. I feel like it didn't feel enough of a
You
conclusion.
mean more with less thought?
No. I mean, like, we weren't really left with the feeling of a conclusion as much as we wanted to, or at least for, like, in my opinion. Um, with that being said, um, it was a bit unsatisfying. Um, it again, it felt like a monster movie. It didn't feel like, if you were to take out the word Jurassic and replaced it with prehistoric or something, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll watch that. That's interesting.
If
But
this
like
was
it,
the live action Land Before Time, I'm like, yeah, no, 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 no. Oh, that's another movie that Universal owns. Do not make a live action Land Before Time. Please don't do that. Oh, I forget you like the live action Lion King, so you're probably on
I
board with
mean,
that.
I don't know. I like Land Before Time,
I
but I
do
don't.
too, but it's like don't ruin a great thing. I'm just
Right.
saying, you know.
But yeah, I guess overall, I would have to say it would be like just above just okay. So what's the one above just okay?
Pretty good.
Oh no, it's like the top.
It's like no, it's not pretty good.
It's like maybe the lowest pretty good. How about that?
Okay, sure. I'll get the lowest pretty good.
Lowest pretty good, maybe.
Very nice. You're very
Highest
nice.
just okay, lowest pretty good. Because like I just I don't know. I'm really glad that I could see these characters back. And there were moments where I was like laughing my head off, like the coffee scene. And once again, Dr. Grant in like out of his element, just in a place where he like doesn't recognize anything. And it's something that we totally recognize, like, in a, a barista trying to get his coffee order and he's just staring like in confusion. Meanwhile, you have like Malcolm and Ellie just like talking and like sharing secrets, and cut back to like the barista just being like, now let me get you, don't even get me started on like my selection of milks, and he's like going with like coconut milk and all, and like Grant's just like
Like,
like,
what is this?
yeah, it was just, we had moments like that where I was just like, man, it's so good to see like little clips like that again. Like that's so fun.
See,
But
millennials and Gen Z sucks, just as I said, because they're super elaborate with their coffee and stuff. I know you like Starbucks, so I'm like, I am throwing shots at you,
I
but
make my own coffee at home actually, and I am very elaborate kind of sometimes. But yeah, so I think overall though, I feel like it was a bit um convoluted. There was a lot going on. Um and I got a bit lost a couple times. Like a couple times I'd be like, wait, what's going on? Like just a little bit. Um and I really kind of just missed the aspect of Jurassic Park of just people like trying to just survive, and get away. And like that was kind of the aspect of Jurassic Park that felt, it was more realistic. I don't know, the original series. my head is all over the place thinking about this, but like the original series was like, can you tell? Is that why you're nodding really fast?
Yeah, yeah. It got both of us just like, what's going on right now?
But yeah, like the original series felt more realistic than this, in the sense that like this just was a bit fantastical. Um and which also kind of like doesn't really help kind of give off that message, which I do find is an important message that Jurassic Park has always had, which is like having respect for the natural world, and knowing, and that respect also comes with boundaries for the natural world, and knowing that we shouldn't be pushing it too far, and knowing those boundaries and stuff like that, um and how we don't have control over the natural world as much as we think, and we shouldn't be manipulating the natural world for profit. And like that's an important timeless message that Jurassic Park has always given, but I feel like it almost made more sense to me when watching Jurassic Park than it did watching Jurassic World, even though that message is even more prominent in Jurassic World. So um for that purpose, I feel like it was just okay. I thought the cinematography, or the not the cinematography, the CGI and the animatronics was very impressive. Very cool to watch, but also just it felt very action packed. It wasn't quite. It didn't make sense a lot of the times, the physics and stuff like that. So
I
yeah,
hear you slowly going down to just okay.
like
It feels
talking
like you're
myself.
dwindling down to just okay.
I know. I'm like rambling too. I feel like if I were giving like an essay on this, it would be like 20 pages.
20 pages. This is going to be a 3-part review.
Yeah, probably. So yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, it's a lot to think about and a lot to digest. I feel like my opinion of this is going to change like continuously over time. The more I watch it, the more I think about it, because I only saw it just yesterday too. So
yeah, I only saw it once. So
yeah,
maybe my opinion will change later.
Yeah.
I hate this movie.
Right. So
Or I might love it more. I don't know. Actually, that probably won't happen. But like, I don't know. We'll see.
But it was like pretty good. I will say again, the dinosaurs though. Thank you. The dinosaurs though, it just didn't, the making them look like the modern idea that we have, like the more updated version that we have of our of dinosaurs and prehistoric animals, like sure, but it doesn't make sense with what you've already set up in Jurassic Park, you know what I mean? So it's just a bit confusing, but anyway, I don't know, it was the lowest pretty good, I guess.
Okay, so that's your final answer.
Yes. Thank you for putting it up on the screen every time I say it.
Yeah, I'm just seeing how many times you're gonna contradict yourself. Like, just okay. I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, would this girl decide already? But
sorry, I'm so sorry.
But anyway, that's our long preamble thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion. Tell us.
Rambled is right.
Yep. It's definitely gonna be 3 parts because it's 3 hours. But anyway, tell us, what did you guys think about Jurassic World Dominion? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? Where does it rank for you in the Jurassic Park franchise? Actually, comment down below. What is your ranking of all the Jurassic Park films? Put that down in the comments. Let me know. I think I have an idea of how I'd rank everything. I think everyone probably knows. So
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Jurassic World.
Okay.
Jurassic Park 3.
Okay. Oh, so you like 3 more than Dominion?
Yes.
Okay.
Dominion.
Okay. There's Lost World and Fallen Kingdom.
I know, but I can't decide on.
Oh, they're like equally bad for you.
World, and then just barely directly under Lost World is like Fallen Kingdom. They were like, yeah. Okay. I'd watch them again. Like they weren't like, please end me now type of films, but like not the best out of the series, of course. But anyway.
No. So for me, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic World Dominion. Like I said, it's the third best, but it's like that's not saying a lot.
Oh,
That's not saying a lot for me. But but just like what I would rather watch this over Lost in 3 and Fallen Kingdom, and that's how it is. That's how it's down the list. Lost World 3 and then Fallen Kingdom.
I
So
like
yeah.
3.
I know you like 3, so you can like 3 all you want, but just like I can't I, I can't get with it. There's some cool moments in there,
You
but
kicked
it's
a
just
pterodactyl in the face.
I know, but I just can't get over the dumb plot and the annoying characters. I can't get over it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
deal.
tried. Okay, but yeah, that's how we would rank it. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be notified of future videos I'll be doing, please hit the thumbs up. And subscribe to Shannon Jeffries' channels, which are conveniently both called Shannon Jeffries, so you're probably confused. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, you should probably rename your short film channel to something. I don't know, but
To what? It's my name.
Shannon's indie films. I don't
I
know,
like it.
something like that.
I might change my sketch channel to something else. So
I mean
stay
that
tuned.
too. You could change to something else.
Stay tuned.
Yes, I can't. I'm waiting. I've been waiting for 57 years for her to make another video on her main channel with the skits, because like she's funny, man. She's really funny. Like I love her skits, and I'm waiting for her to put me on one of her skits. Like I want to do
Yeah.
it. So yeah, I'll put the
Stay
links to
tuned.
both. Yeah, stay tuned. I hope it happens soon. I'll put a link to both her channels so you can check them out. But yeah, that's all we have for you, Jurassic Park fans. Thank you for following with us through all these Jurassic Park films. Okay, curious question before we head out. Are you interested in talking about the Netflix show Camp Cretaceous?
I could.
Yeah, we could talk about that. If you guys want us to talk about Camp Cretaceous, comment down below and let us know. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out if we want to cover that.
I
in the
promise I
future.
won't be as rambly next time.
Yeah, that's a lie. but, but anyway, that's all we have for you, Jurassic Park fans, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.